There's another little challenging one. We got a little bit of foreshortening going on here with the knee that's on the bottom. And we got some foreshortening that's going on here. So I want to zoom in and I want to take my time to explain what's going on. First thing is first, see this? This is the underwear. It's going to help you out a whole lot. Because you're just drawing some underwear. It helps out. This is where all the muscles of your thigh and everything are attached. So now here's a few things that are going on here. Right about here, we could look at this as a tube in its most simple form. And this is where the tube is attached. Now we have the glutes that are underneath. So we have here and we have here. This is a little bit of foreshortening. It's turned a little bit, but there's also, it's kind of facing away from us. So it's not a complete full-on circle, or it's not as circular as down here. Down here, the foot is in the back. So what happens when we foreshorten is that if I drew this, this is almost, so this is the side. As it starts to turn to us, then it looks like an oval. And obviously if we turn, so let's say like this is a can or something. And the more that, if it's turning right to us, it just looks like a circle, right? But if somewhere in between here, it's not going to be as circular, right? So this is the opening. This is full on. This is the side. So what is happening? This is straight. This is at the other side, so it's going to be a little bit more circular. This is now going to get thinner because it's going away from us. And then we are seeing straight through, and so you might see a little bit, depending on how long the can is or whatever. I'll show you. There's no sense in me. Let me go ahead and show you. All right, so here we are. We got ourselves a little 3D model here. And we can look at this and see that if I turn this towards me, or as much as I can, you can see that we can kind of look at it, and it just looks like a circle. If I adjust this just so it looks like a circle. We know it's not a circle, right? We know it's not a circle. But if we start to turn this, so here's what's going to happen here. So now we can see the other side of it, right? And so we can see right down into the circle. It looks like two circles over each other. When we start to turn, look at what happens to the top line, or the top of it right here. We can now see that as it goes away from us, it gets thinner, right? If it comes towards us, it gets thicker, and then it goes to thin. Sorry, it goes going away from us. When it starts to turn, this is a little bit thinner. This is becoming thicker because this is coming more towards it. It's a little complicated, but you're going to have either one or the other. And so, all right, here we go again. So it was also giving us a little bit of, okay, so check this out. So you see how it's a little smaller going to the back. It's bigger in the front, more of a circle in the front, smaller circle in the back. That's really what foreshortening is, because this looks like it is coming towards us, which if we move it, we can move this and it can come towards us, so that's our foreshortening, right? So it looks a little weird from this angle. So now if I do the exact same thing and I move this towards us and I'm rotating, See, when it's going away, that little shadow side, it looks more like an ellipse or an oval, and we rotate it to the front, then it looks like a circle, right? So that's important. Oh, I hope I explained that well. If I didn't, let me know. So now that back leg is acting like a tube. So we are seeing the big part of the tube, and then right over here we're seeing the small part, and it's just coming up like this. So it's just doing this, and it's actually is overlapping a bit. Not all the way, it's just subtly touching. So it looks like it's coming towards us. Because what's happening is that there is way back there somewhere that technically would turn into a vanishing point. So if I shade this in a little bit, this lets you know. And we still can do this. And we also can just do this. As long as you know that this is a 3D object that is foreshortened. Right? And actually it's more foreshortened going to the back. Like this. That's what that leg is doing. Now then there would be like a little ball on the end of it if we are using that method. So we would put the sphere right here, or we would put our little shield up here. This is our foot. And yes, there is some components there that would make it look a little bit more like that. But for the most part, we're just going to do our little wedge shape that we've been doing. And then we also can draw another little shape like this, or we can make it like more of a triangle. And then we have our other little back foot, which is a triangle. So now, after I've went ahead and explained all that to you, I want to look at where I think the foot is. So actually what I want to do is put where the knee is. That'd be a little bit easier for me. The knee is right there. And then straight down, I'm going to put the foot. I'm going to see if the foot is down here or not. Because we can. I'm going to switch back to my red. This blue is throwing me off. I used to teach with blue. Now I teach with red. So now we have this circle. Got to put in our underwear here. So we have another little circle here, or a little oval there. A little bit there. Right here. We still can use this little shape that we've been using. And so now, drawing the heel across, it's about where the knee is going to meet. And so I want to draw a little circle down here. The other thing that I want to do, it's spread out a little bit, so I'm going to draw that circle over here, make it a little bit more dynamic of a pose. And so I want to overlap. I want to draw another smaller circle back there. I'm going to have it just touching. And then we're going to put the foot out there. And then I'm going to bring this down like so. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'll probably make another little line right there. So now if you would have just drawn this on your own instead and tried to work this out, you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't quite look right. It can't look like that. But you're looking at the actual 3D model of a mannequin and saying, okay, this is what this looks like. We probably could have stood to make it a little bit more dramatic and put the knee up and gave it a little bit more of that. Maybe a little bit. Probably brought the foot down maybe to here. But that's okay. All right, so I'm going to stop talking. Practice this. Hopefully you can see that this works. This works to get a figure down. No reason to beat yourself up about anatomy. Not just yet, anyway. There's plenty of time for that. But I just want to build you some confidence with these simple shapes, with these simple structures. That's what these are. We're not really, even though this technically can be volume, right? Volume and form, because that's what the cylinders and 3D tubes. That's more form. I just want to get the structure down for you guys, just the basics. This is just a little bit. This is a stepped up version of a stick figure. Is essentially what we're drawing. All right, I'll see you in the next video.